All right, guys, welcome back. It has been an exhausting couple of weeks. So, if y'all know, we bought our land, the new land that we're moving out to. You can see this shop is in a complete mess because we're in the middle of packing it up and getting some stuff moved over. Some stuff is staying here until we officially sell this. And so we'll still be living here, but the new property is 3 hours away, so it's really, really difficult for us to get out there and get much done. And so we were out there the other day, did a lot of bush hogging. The whole area, there's about 40 to 60 acres. That was all pasture land up on the very top of the property as you first come in the road. And they've let that completely overgrow over the last 10 years. So we're out there bush hogging that, really trying to reclaim that good pasture. I'm not 100% certain what type of grass is there. I presume some sort of fescue, but I'm not very good with grass identification, so I'll probably take a photo of it and get that posted somewhere. Maybe one of y'all can help me out with it. But anyways, one of the problems from my dog, looks like she's going after a mouse or something, I can't quite tell. One of the things that we came across out there is that next weekend, hopefully we're going out there, we're gonna take the tractor and the auger, we're gonna auger our holes, get some of our goat fencing up, get a platform for a new real small shop. So we're not building the full shop yet. It'll just be a real small temporary shop for the short term. And with that, I've got to have water for the concrete. Well, the well isn't drilled yet. I've got the pond there and everything, but it's not very practical for me to go down there and scoop up buckets of water to do that. So what we thought about is, well, we've got these 55-gallon barrels laying around that we wanted to make some range catchment systems out of for some of the animals, and that way we don't have to really worry about watering for the goats and the chickens. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that cap and we're gonna drill a hole through it so that way we can mount this hose bib on there. And then once we mount that hose bib on there, that will allow us to actually get good water. I can get about 50 gallons out there, 55 gallons out there, and that'll allow us to then have the capabilities to have some water out there for doing the concrete stuff. It's not so much important for drinking water. We can carry our drinking water while we're out there, but being able to pour concrete, I've got to have a lot of water, and you've got to be able to mix that. So that's what we're doing. So here's kind of the fun trick here. We could very easily probably go to the store and buy all the pieces that we need to put this together, but I had some spare plumbing pieces left over. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can make something work here with these spare plumbing pieces. Here's the lid right here. And what I was going to originally do is set this down in there. Obviously I can't do that unless I take my Dremel and carve some of that out. And that's just, we're just not gonna deal with that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna drill a little hole. We're gonna put this little, connection piece through, this threaded connector piece, and then we're going to come back over the top of it on the back side, and we're going to put this other little PVC piece on here. Now this is just a slightly bigger piece of PVC pipe, and we're just going to glue those two together with some good PVC glue. Now this isn't designed to have something come over the back side of it, but the material is the same, so it should work. But in order to make sure that we get a good connection on there, what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this up just a little bit, and we're going to clean up the outside edge of it just a touch, so that way we get we don't have, you have the writing and everything in here telling me what size it is and who the manufacturer is and all that stuff. And we're just going to clean that stuff off there real quick, just to make that nice and smooth. Perfect. Okay. Now that goes on there really, really good. So let's go ahead and just clean up these edges here on this piece. And for those of you that know how to use a file properly, you don't go backwards on the file, you always just go forwards. But for this plastic, it's not going to jam up my file, it's not going to hurt the threads on it, so we can get a little bit more work done, a little bit more better, right? All right, so now let's go ahead and pop this in there. So we don't actually have the bit that we need. That's another challenge to this project, is that we're lacking the proper bit that we need to do this, which would be the easiest way to do it. But again, I don't really feel like running out to Home Depot right now. I had a few minutes to do another project, and so that's what we're gonna do. So we'll take that out like that. Stick this rat tail file in there. Oh, still got a bit more. Guys, you can call this Gimme Reagan or whatever it is you want, but you know, the reality of it is that if I can make this work in about 5 or 10 minutes and save myself a trip to the store for a part that doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously if we're doing plumbing on the inside of our house or something, this is a little bit different, but you know, this is outside, you know, just to water some animals is what it's going to be used for in the future after we're done with this. So it really doesn't matter if it, you know, gets a little leak or this doesn't seal perfect or whatever it is. See that? Oh man, that goes right through. That's perfect. All right, let's clean up these edges. So now we'll take our PVC primer, go ahead and get everything nice and clean, all the surfaces that we're going to be touching. And so 2 big ones here. I guess they're going to be, oops, got another couple labels to get off there. See if we can. All right, good. Guys, key to this PVC stuff too is making sure you got really, really clean materials that you're working with. So you'll get good connections if you use a good primer or just use a primer. Make sure you got good clean stuff to work with. You know, I don't care much for PVC in the home, but for this stuff, it's actually pretty perfect because it doesn't really matter if it cracks or breaks. It's really easy to fix and patch, and it's not supplying your house. So we're gonna get all 3 pieces, some PVC primer on them, and I don't know if that PVC glue is gonna work on this piece or not, or what the deal is there. You know, we'll give it a try, and if it does, great. If not, like I said, if it's gonna leak, it's just gonna leak a little bit around it, and we can always seal it with a little bit of caulking. PVC cement actually bonds, creates a chemical process. So it's not just a glue like you think of. It actually bonds and creates a chemical process and a reaction, and essentially welds the PVC together. To my understanding, anyways, that's what we've been told. And I don't know. I guess I've never seen the data on that, but so like I said, so that's why I don't know if that glue is actually going to do any good here on this piece. But we're going to go ahead and put a little bit on it just to get that good seal. Okay, so we've got our primer on there. We let the primer dry on every piece that we hit. Whoops. Let the primer dry on everything that we had going here. Now we'll take our PVC cement. Oh man, if I can get it open, holy crap. And like I said, so we're just gonna go ahead and put this on every piece, and we gotta move fairly quickly here because we wanna get this before any of it starts to weld. Just trying not to get any on my hands. That failed. Okay. All that's tapped into place. Should have put my gloves on. Got a little bit more on my fingers than I wanted to get. Give that a couple spins in there. Make sure we got a good solid seal. What I think I'll probably do is come back over and take some of the Gorilla Glue caulking compound and just fill that gap in there. Then that way, once this thing dries, I mean, that thing will be on there. And there we go. So we've got our valve in there. That way we can get some water here out of our 55-gallon barrel. Like I said, what we're gonna do, we'll come, caulk and seal around that, to keep any leaks or anything from happening. Really what we wanted that piece on there was mostly just keep that from falling out, you know, if it gets pulled on or whatever. But looks like that's in there pretty good. So let's see what that looks like. So like I said, this is not the best way to do it. This is just how we elected to do it with some extra parts that we had laying around. Gave us a way to use up these parts and not have to go purchase anything for it. So, and guys, like I said, this is just temporary to give us some water while we're out there doing some concrete work. This will eventually be used to collect some of the rain runoff. So, I mean, that should hopefully last. If it doesn't, I'll update the video. All right, there you go. Water barrel with this faucet now, so we can use out there at the property and get some of this work done that we need to get done. So thanks again for watching. If you guys like this type of redneckery, please like and subscribe to the channel. It does really help us out if you share it as well. That's always a big benefit. Check out Facebook if you haven't done that, because Amanda Lynn likes to post her blogs over there. And who knows, this might end up over there too, so you can learn it twice. Thanks.